collect things and sell them. Joining me today is Andres. Andres, it's wonderful having you here in MassCom today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I hear that you sell things, and that what makes you always come back to collecting Pokemon cards?
It's one of the things during the pandemic. There was really not much to do, and one of my friends got back into it, and I was one of the biggest Pokemon card collectors since I was a little kid, since when they first arrived in the U.S. right around 1999, and it just brought back a lot of memories, and decided to get back into it.
Yeah. And what are some tips on selling and trading Pokemon cards?
So I think you have to look at it from two different perspectives, whether you're trying to collect them or whether you're trying to sell them. If you're trying to sell them, I would probably stick to the more classical ones, the more popular ones, like the Charizards, Pikachus, which I would say the majority of people would know who they are.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So who is your favorite Pokemon of all time? I know there's, 150?
Those were the original
ones.
I would say it's either between Bulbasaur or Charizard, Pikachu, but I would probably say Bulbasaur.
All right, so a classic.
Yes.
All right. And then, so we're moving on to maybe Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I don't know a lot about. I can talk a little Pokemon, but do you have a favorite Yu-Gi-Oh?
There's a three-eyed, the blue-eyed white dragon. I didn't really get too much into Yu-Gi-Oh! I always preferred sticking with Pokemon over Yu-Gi-Oh! Even though Yu-Gi-Oh! They say it was the second coming of Pokemon.
Okay. And what are great tactics to defeat legendary Pokemon?
Well, it depends. If you're trying to capture them or you're trying to defeat them. If you're trying to defeat them, you have to start off strong, because more than likely you just could end up wiping out your best Pokemon, so you're going to have your weaker ones come in there, so you just need to start off strong.
All right. Well, wonderful. I know you have some stuff to show me, so we will do that right after a short break.
My dearest Jessica, love itself and drunkenness frequently collaborate, but the comparison is moot. Drunkenness, unlike love, is pleasant. So it is of most opposites that love at times must be drastic.
32 white teeth.
And welcome back, Andre. So what did you bring today to show me?
So here we have a second edition Venusaur. This is a second edition of the Pokemon cards. If it were, first edition, it'd be worth, right around maybe $8,000.
Oh my God.
So when I first started getting into collecting cards again during the pandemic, they started rising in price drastically. Where before, I would never even consider selling them. I would never consider buying to resell. But as the prices started going up and I was trying to get into collections, I began selling cards on eBay, sports cards, Pokemon cards, essentially to have to start building up my personal collection.
Yeah.
Which is something, very common as you start getting more into cards. It's no longer where you could buy this, for $20 like maybe you could many years ago. Now, these Pokemon cards, especially the classical ones, are just a lot more expensive.
Yeah. And what's the most expensive card you maybe bought?
For Pokemon or non-Pokemon?
Anywhere.
I would probably say it was a Colt Komet out of 5, rookie card auto. That one that I purchased personally was right around $780. Unfortunately, that was at the peak of the sports card market, where I just got very excited, try to build up the collection. And that value has probably gone down right to, I would probably say under $100 now.
And maybe so you sell these cards too, right?
Correct, yes.
What's the biggest profit you've made?
So the best ones is when you can go to a card shop, or you just kind of walk around during trade shows and you go and they have dollar bins. And these dollar bins, the majority of the cards are less than $1. Sometimes you'll find really good deals where you can buy cards for 25 cents and resell them for $20. So maybe it's not like the biggest profit, but it is the biggest multiplier.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here with us today. I think that's about all the time that we have. Really interesting stuff, and we will see you next time on the show.
Thank you for having me.